Get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right. That's good to go. That's good to go.
Perfect time to tell her what the fortune teller told me. You know what I got like my star sign where she pulled one of these cards out like she's on the card that she gave me. She said the relation's ready to move to the next step. The card had a moon on, and the moon was that far off from being the full.
All right, let's start.
And I said, clicked, this is the next step.
Next step. Oh my god.
What is that?
So something Andrew's.
Oh.
Because we haven't done that yet, and that is the next step for the house.
We are live. We're starting.
Okay. So a fortune teller told him it was time for anal.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Go! Nintendo Podcast. Episode 670. The Floette Podcast.
What was it called last week?
Flabébé.
Yeah, I like that name a lot better.
Floette is a fairy-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 6. It evolves from Flabébé, starting at level 19, and evolves into, I can't tell you. It is... No, we're not doing that. Floette has a white body and a green tail shaped like a spade and green eyebrows. Floette also holds a flower which can be red, yellow, orange, blue, or white, depending on its pre-evolution. Its ears are white with yellow behind them. A more gorgeous flower contains more power for Floette to use. Well, who decides what's gorgeous? It flutters around and cares. Yeah, right? It flutters around and cares for flowers that are about to wilt. If the flowers of a well-tended flower bed bloom, Floette celebrates with an elegant dance. It is a female-only species with no male counterpart. The eternal flower Floette, the Floette that befriended AZ, is different from a normal Floette. Oh, we're not doing all this.
Who's AZ?
I don't know. Let's see.
Gotta watch the show to know what you're talking about now.
Somebody tell me who AZ is. I got no idea. Well, that's Floette. It's Pokemon 670. There's only females. It's a fairy type. It's 2 pounds.
Oh.
And it's, what is this?
And you can't teach that.
0.2 meters? It's tiny?
0.2 meters.
I mean, it looks tiny. That's true. All right. It's a little baby Pokemon. That's your Pokemon. There you go.
It is a flower.
It is a flower.
Flowers are usually pretty small.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hello to Kimmy Newt and Rocket and Dew and ZX Billy and Lanquin and Omar and Roth and Unique J and Nintendo Chit Chat and Drew and Justin and Giant Reggie and Al Delmar and Agent Iron Cat and Sayer and Malik Halo and whoever else I didn't see. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it. Before we get into all the E3 news, which, you know, I'm sure Nikki Hill is here, which I'm sure most of you know. Today's podcast is sponsored by Soccer Slammers from our friends at Atui. Fast-paced, you're right. Fast-paced 2-on-2 arcade soccer for 1 to 4 players. Soccer Slammers is 2-on-2 arcade soccer with no rules. Just fast-paced fun for 1 to 4 players on a single switch. Crush your opponent by mastering power shots, slam tackles, bank shots, super sprints, and team combo shots. Warm up with a 2-minute quick game or go for glory in the World Cup against the top 32 teams in the world. Soccer Slammers is available right now from our friends at Atui. Thank you for that sponsorship.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, yes, this is the prequel. Just Atui. No. Me?
You're looking less pale.
I mean, I did see you outside last night.
I was outside last night.
Yeah, there we go.
You get, if you want me to move the camera out. No, it's just you.
I mean, I'll sit over there. I don't want you
No,
to
sit there. No, go ahead.
No, I'll sit
Done.
there. Okay.
Just move that one over and sit there. Get this guy out of here. That's right. I forgot.
Nintendo Podcast Webisode. What is it? 670.
You got it.
Whoa! What's the Pokemon?
Hello, Kid Blue.
Oh, you missed it. It was
Floette.
Floette.
Flamingo coughs up gook on you.
Flamenco. He
Flamingo.
plays Spanish guitar.
Okay. Drew says more beard. There's 3 beards here. It's true.
This is more stubble.
There you go.
I'm burping directly in this. I'm sorry. I just had a. Can I talk about products from other places on this?
Holy moly.
licensed?
We got everybody in it. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you go to Moe's again?
Caramel frozen coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
It's got me all burping. I don't understand.
Okay. Oh, I just brushed my teeth and now I saw what you have on the table.
Oh, that.
Yeah, what
Rainbow
did you think I was
cookies.
talking about?
I had something nice.
What are these things?
I just brushed my
they're
teeth
just
for the
called
week.
Rainbow cookies. That's it.
Well, they're 7-layer cakes, right?
Hello, Massimo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I just call them rainbow cookies.
No, that's what
I call
they're
them.
called.
The Bene cookie.
Hello, Reginilla. So yes, this week was E3, obviously, which you all know. We're gonna go through what went down at E3 as well as what went down after E3 and before E3.
For those listening at home and don't know,
Hello, Reginilla.
E3 stands for the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
I really thought you were gonna make a joke, but yes, that's correct.
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Something weird.
Yeah.
Everybody eats eucalyptus.
Okay. I mean,
Eggplant? Maybe eggplant.
koalas
Everybody
like it.
eats eggplant parmesan.
Everybody
They cut the P off
eats
because of.
anise.
No, it's A. Oh,
anise.
anise.
Yes. Anise.
The P is silent.
All right, let's talk about what happened
What
at E3
did
this
happen at
week.
E3? I'll tell you what happened.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to tell you all the important stuff that happened starting now.
Oh,
You get what I'm saying?
Are you suggesting that nothing of importance happened?
Oh my
not
God,
even
is
for
this
any
guy-
other company? No companies at all?
What happened?
What important?
No.
Sony
They
had
announced a bunch of games. Who cares?
Sony's big
Who
press
cares?
conference was like exercise. Here, sit down and watch this. Now get up and go over to this area. We're gonna take a 30-minute break while everybody moves.
I do not understand that. That is Sony being so full of themselves.
I mean, it was nice to be in the setting of where the Last of Us 2 trailer starts and ends.
Yeah, but I don't know that you
But-
should cater your conference to the, I don't know how many, 10,000, 5,000 people that are there
No,
in
but, like,
attendance.
that
You should do it for
location-
the millions that are watching
That
online.
location would have been fine for the rest, right?
Yes, it would have. Yeah, exactly.
I like that they included music, and then like the next introduction was music.
Yeah, me too.
You love music.
So for those that don't know, Sony, well,
That's on
I'm
another
not the only one
podcast.
that feels this way.
Is there a Going Sony podcast? Is Going Sony still a website?
I do it with all different friends, yeah.
Hmm.
You liar.
You've never met them.
Sony for their, or I feel Sony when they have a successful system, they get really cocky, and I feel like that's where we're at now. So for Sony's E3 press conference, which if you didn't watch, let me describe it to you. They started off in a special, for the people that were in attendance, they started off in like a special building or tent, I guess it was. And the tent was made to look like the beginning, or was made to look like the trailer that they showed for The Last of Us 2. It was a tent with like, you know, those old school bulb lights and all that stuff. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It was made to look like the trailer for The Last of Us 2. And then after they that started with a musical performance, some guy playing the banjo, because, you know, the banjo is important to that game. Cool, whatever, that's fine. So they show that whole segment, and then we find out that everybody in attendance has to leave that tent and go to another location to watch the rest of the press
Did you
conference.
see the size of that screen though?
It
a
was
big
small.
screen.
So
Oh,
E3.
so I thought it was real small.
The new screen, the second screen.
No, the first one I was talking about.
The second one was big.
Yes.
It was a big screen.
So,
So E3 now means everyone. It's the everyone exercises expo.
yes.
Yeah.
So while they were moving people
Everyone
out,
exit immediately.
while they were moving out, This is
No,
during
that's
their-
ours.
this is during their press conference, like that everybody's watching. So all these people are leaving, and as they're shuffling people out, we get like a group of 4
like commentators.
doofs, yeah, saying like, We're getting right back to the show in a minute, but for now, let's talk about what Sony's trying to do here. And like, it was just Sony's idea was like, hey, let's start off this press conference in a really cool way, and then for 25 minutes, everybody watching will get to enjoy these idiots vamping for 25 minutes, and then we'll go back to the show. And I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, is this really happening? This was their plan, just to sit here and have these guys like talk about, Sony's great. We got some stuff to show you. Oh, the show's almost back. We're almost back to. I was like,
but not only
a terrible idea.
Then they said like they talked about the trailers that they're going to watch for the other trailers that they're going to watch for the games. They only had like 4 trailers to watch. There was nothing talked about, nothing interesting. It was just watch these videos.
We got one at the exact same time.
The pop-up thing?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't win. This is a Merchoid thing. So I get these emails from Merchoid, and it's like, oh, this is great.
That's funny.
This
I
great
say
content.
Merchoid.
Oh, really? I feel like it's merch because it's merchandise.
No, I agree.
Everyone I click on, though, less than 5 remaining. You better get yours now. I'll check that same listing a week from now. Less than 5 remaining.
So Sony's conference, when they did get back to showing stuff, they showed of what's it called? Ghost of Tsushima.
I didn't see that.
And it started just like the.
Is that the one that's like really beautiful in the fields and stuff
yes.
like that? Yeah. It looks
started
really
off with the same kind of thing. Some guy comes out and plays some music on some ancient Japanese instrument, which is great. It's cool. I get it. It ties into the game, but the guy plays like for 3 minutes, and it's just you watching this guy play. They're not showing gameplay footage or anything. They're just showing different camera angles of this guy. And the audience is like, okay, right? Yeah, but their focus was on 4 games. They did show a few other games there, including stuff we didn't know of, like I don't remember the name of it. The Alan Wake team, Remedy, is doing a new game. It looked cool to me, whatever it was. I think it's called Control. I think it was called Control, so we saw that. But yeah, Sony's head of whatever, I don't remember. He was like, we're doing things different here. We want to show off the depth and the importance of the games that we're bringing out and give them room to breathe. And I'm like, I'm all for games as art. I get it. But you're showing the E3 crowd. This is not what they're watching for. If you want to do this artsy-fartsy crap, do it at another event. I get it. But, or at least before the press conference, be like, we're doing something very different this year. We're focusing on these games. It's not going to be a traditional type of press conference.
Hey, check all this stuff out. If you want to see more information or not watch another video, go to our YouTube channel. Yeah.
So basically 20 to 25 minutes was us watching those idiots talk. I want to say another 7 minutes we're watching people play instruments. Right. And then we had very long looks at games, which is fine. My only complaint is Spider-Man is 2 years running now.
Is it really that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it was at last year's E3,
Although
definitely.
Watching that trailer made me realize that this is Spider-Man's. This is structured very similarly to the Arkham games, Arkham Asylum. And stuff like that, like the fighting and everything is very similar. Yes. Where it's like all these characters coming at you and you have to fight. I mean, at least in that trailer because he was in a prison. So
hi, Lightning Bro. Ghost of Tsushima. We're on the 2nd year for that one too.
Oh, really?
Death Stranding is on what 2+ years? If
I tried to go back and watch that, but like the stream was freaking out. Like you can't just like jump to a certain section on the stream. Like you'll go to the end and you'll see something from the beginning.
Hi Turquoise. Hi A Gamer. Don't get me wrong. I'm very excited for these games, but there's only so many E3s I can watch where I'm like, okay, let's look at this again.
So, but
like I'm very excited for it. I get it.
Death Stranding was that crazy trailer.
There's been 2 crazy trailers so far.
You put them side by side. Stuff happens, but
we've had 3 trailers for it.
This one
first.
Was like
gameplay. I don't know. I don't want to call it gameplay. I want to call it someone was moving a character around. Like we saw someone walking. I don't know if that's all that you do. Listen, I'm down for the game no matter what. I'm
I don't think it's just walking. I think it's kind of sensing and stuff like that. I'm sure there's like
I don't know
ways for you to sense when there's those things.
We didn't see like any
but it's your first look at like
non-cutscene
an
stuff.
enemy
or
something. You're kind of constant threat throughout the game. It was also the first time that I was aware that this game is heavy in science fiction and fantasy. I didn't realize, I guess, from the other
two trailers, really?
Really, well, the fetus didn't give you that impression?
No, but in this, like, he's wearing like this full
that like arm thing has been in one of the other trailers.
Oh, was it?
Like blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, maybe I didn't.
It was only. Did you see the trailer of Mads Mikkelsen?
Thought so.
Well, I don't know.
No, but like he's wearing almost like a Dead Space suit. I've never seen that.
Dead Space suit. Hi, Mother Brain. So yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm crapping on those games because I'm not. I'm gonna buy every one of those.
I'm not crapping on them. I'm wiping my tuchus with them.
I'm gonna buy every one of those games when it comes out. I'm just talking about the impact of E3, where every year they're like, hey, here's these games again, still not coming out, still no release date. Like Death Stranding, no release date. Spider-Man, we know when it's coming out. The Last of Us 2, no release date. What was the other one? Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if that has a release date or not.
Is that the game that From Software is doing, or am I thinking of something?
What one?
Ghost of Tsushima.
No, that's I forget the name of that one. It's something about death and this two again twice. Well, it's something about second related. I know it's something like that. Hello, Retro-Ass. So yeah, their press conference. I liked all the games that were shown. We didn't see a lot in the way of new stuff. And I just wish Sony came out beforehand, like Nintendo did, and said, listen, we're focusing on games that aren't coming out for a couple of years. Like, okay, then I know going in. That's fine. I get it. You told me. It's my own fault if I get upset.
When is Last of Us 2 is only supposed to be 2019, right?
I don't think they set a date at all. I don't think there's any date. I would guess late 2019. Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Oh,
Thank you, Omar and Mother Brain.
Thank you.
That I don't know how I felt about that either. That Ellie's a pretty hardcore gal.
I watched Microsoft's press conference, which for me was my favorite, and Microsoft has been my least favorite for the last couple of years. I thought Microsoft did a really good press conference.
Did they have Jamie Kennedy?
No, they did not. But they really cut down on that terrible, like,
it wasn't Jamie Kennedy
hosting
in the past.
stuff.
I think he was like Sony or something. Wasn't
God darn it! Did you get one there? No. They definitely focused more on like, let's just show some games and then we'll come out and talk a little bit and get into the game stuff.
Yeah, that's really all they should be doing.
The Ubisoft, they had like key developers or like key people from the development team for each game, and they were like, "This is gonna be awesome!" Blah blah blah. Oh my goodness!
Blah blah blah.
Wow.
So Microsoft, I felt theirs was good. They showed a lot of games I'm interested in. They showed a lot of new stuff. Again, we did see things that have been a couple of years running now, but they also showed brand new things. They showed things that are coming out this year. They announced new Battletoads. I mean, that's all I really need there. So
it's going to be cartoony, right? I'm assuming
by
that.
Based on what was in the trailer, I would guess yes. I don't know. But yeah, I thought they had a good showing. Plus, it wasn't bloated. Like, it didn't feel like it ran forever. It was over an hour, but it wasn't forever.
So they're finally doing something with Rare.
Well, Rare just did Sea of Thieves. That was a big hit for them.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Let you out of your cage to release this game, and then it did well.
Rare's not doing Battletoads. It has to be. I guarantee they're not doing it, though. It's going to be somebody else.
Hopefully, it's somebody who cares.
It'll be like the guys, the guys who did Alien Hominid or something like that. That would make more sense. I'm trying to think of specific. Well, they showed Gears 5, which I'm very happy the Gears franchise continues to move away from like over the top dude bro stuff, like, giant necks and like I'm like, I like the game. We have fun with the games, definitely, but like it was so much like testosterone.
He did have a pretty big neck.
Yeah, and these games look like they're like, all right, let's tone it down a bit. We'll focus a little bit more on some story, but keep the action. It looked good. What I saw looked good to me.
Now it's like those giant dude bodies were just suits.
Yeah, right.
It's like you still see everybody's like super bulky.
That's
and
a
like
great way to
suits,
like retcon the series.
Yeah, right. They also showed a teaser trailer for a new Halo, which looks like it's taking things in a more classic style direction, but that's just my own That's what I picked up from watching the trailer on my own. They didn't officially say that. They didn't really say anything. They just opened their press conference with a teaser trailer for a new Halo called Halo Infinite. And I really didn't like the last Halo game, but this trailer gave me hope for the future of Halo. So, I'm trying to think of what they showed. Some third-party trailers, which are going for stuff that's going to other platforms too. But they, between Sony and Microsoft, they pick and choose what trailers they're going to show. They don't want to duplicate trailers. So Microsoft showed like the Devil May Cry 5 trailer, which looks so goddamn over the top in the best ways possible. It looks like a platinum game to me, which is a compliment because I think they do awesome stuff. Yeah. It was just crazy, just silly, crazy, over the top.
No? There was a new trailer for Tomb Raider, I think, outside of
yes,
that, right?
No one showed Tomb Raider. Let's talk about that. Square Enix conference, quote unquote, terrible.
Oh, good.
It was. They didn't need to do a conference at all. It really wasn't a conference. It was pre-recorded like Nintendo does. They didn't need to do anything. It wasn't really like an E3 press conference. It was like, all right, let's put it this way. All the companies are holding long commercials for the games that are coming out. But Square Enix was just basically like, here's everything you already know about.
Everything.
Go get it.
Although, The World Ends With You 2, right? Or is it a remake or something?
The World Ends With You. Oh, final remix? Yeah. No, we knew about that a while ago. But they didn't show that in that trailer, did they?
I don't know.
No, they didn't. They showed Octopath Traveler. Yeah, really, it was just like it was basically like a
Octopi.
We don't know that. Basically, it was like a sizzle reel for the games that we already saw.
That's why I hate that title, because I can't hear it without thinking about octopi.
Although,
and there's no octopi in the game.
Did you read that article?
Hi, Tony.
Says that, octopi are from another, like they're aliens.
Oh my god, really? Just like Cthulhu.
They're saying that I don't even know, like that somehow they came down, like cells or whatever came down on a meteor and basically grew here and there.
This sounds like a great game. Hello, LL McPherson.
Called Life.
Hello, Nintendo fanboy. So Square Enix was terrible.
This guy's like, oh, your phone's getting bogged down. Got to close some sites. So I closed that one. Now I'm never gonna get it back.
Did you watch the beginning of Ubisoft?
No, I caught it late.
The first minute of Ubisoft, I was like, this is going to be an E3 presentation for the ages. They had two people that were not in any other part. I think Ubisoft killed them. I think right after they started the show, Ubisoft killed them because they started off and they were looking at the camera and it was like deer in headlights. They're like, we're here at E3. The show's, we're going to start now. 10 seconds. Here we go. Is everybody excited? And the crowd's like,
maybe they were supposed to air that part.
Everything you tell me about E3 just makes it sound like the most awkward, uncomfortable experience.
This year, more so than any other, I'm like, I get why Nintendo pre-records their stuff because they avoid all this. Ubisoft's
the right idea.
Content was fine. I like a lot of the stuff that they showed in there. I'm super excited for Starlink. I was excited for Starlink last year, and now we know Starlink is going to have Star Fox content in it, which is really cool. They showed off a new Trials game. I love the Trials series, so I'm all about that. Trials Rising for Switch and Xbox One and PS4. They showed a brand new cinematic trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 that had Paige and Jade in it.
Yeah, man.
Spoilers.
They
showed a new the Assassin's Creed Odyssey trailer, which is different from past Assassin's Creeds.
And also different from Super Mario Odyssey.
Turns out there's no relation.
Not a crossover.
Turns out you take your magical knife and you stick it in somebody's back, and then you use them as a puppet to get into places. Okay. Kind of like capturing.
I'm on board.
Oh, that's what you're getting at?
Yeah, but they stay with you and you just walk around and you use them like a ventriloquist dummy.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, like in that movie, Dead Silence or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
He gets me.
Where the the twist was the
whoa, spoiler alert.
lady was using the guy's dad's corpse as a ventriloquist dummy.
No.
They showed off what'd they do? The Crew 2 and
so what's up with that? Is that supposed to be like
it's racing? What do you mean what's up? That's it.
that was supposed to be like real America, right?
I don't know.
I thought the map was supposed to be like
What are you talking about? You're not talking about racing. Are you talking about the Division 2?
no.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest. I zoned out a little bit during the Crew 2, so I don't know.
Originally, like in the first game of the Crew, is it Crew or the Crew?
First game of the Crew.
In the first game of the Crew, they were in real America.
It was supposed to be like the maps were supposed to be like an actual map of the United States, and you can drive anywhere. And then when it launched, it ended up like you can't drive anywhere.
I don't know. I just want somebody to make a goddamn Burnout where you crash into stuff. That's all I want, and you can't get it.
And if they do a new Burnout, it's not that.
What else did Ubisoft show? Oh, they showed Just Dance.
Did they show?
Which is how the press conference started. No Splinter Cell. I liked Ubisoft. I liked the content that they shown. I was worried it was going to be real cringy, but then it wasn't.
By the way, Kirby, start doing some artwork and get it into Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I watched.
You know what that makes me think? Makes me think they're getting lazy.
Oh, trust me, there's plenty of backlash about it, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt had to write a blog post about it, explaining the whole situation. It's real awkward.
I'm sorry. What's the situation?
They are working with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's
what's it called?
Hit Record.
Hit Record.
Okay.
Which is basically Hit Record is this site where you pull together all these talented fans, whatever you want to call them, and they create content for maybe TV shows or music or whatever. And they're doing a collaboration with Ubisoft for Beyond Good and Evil 2. So if you have ideas for anything, graffiti, in-game posters,
music,
tattoos, anything like that, you can post it on the Hit Record site. And if they are inspired by your work or actually use your work, you will get paid for it.
Really?
So a lot of people are saying like, oh, so basically it's a ton of free work for them, and then they'll pick and choose a few people and pay them. And so Joseph Gordon-Levitt came out and said no, but whatever. No,
I mean, it's a cool way to be involved in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, companies do stuff like that a lot.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Rachel.
Sometimes it's...
Hi, Steel Diver.
Sometimes it's not, super shady, but sometimes
I don't know.
I think this is a genuine move to, include people, but at the same time, they've been working on it for so long. And I understand there's a lot of limitations that they have. They have a small crew working on it, and they want to create this epic experience and stuff like that. I'm just not here. This is what I'm not happy about. Mm-hmm. If I'm traveling through space, I'm not going to go, oh, I'm going to just best way for me to get from point A to point B is circle around this planet in an ice ring.
Look, the game's not even out. You can nitpick it after you play it.
Don't fight me on this because it's ridiculous.
I didn't even notice.
Why you're complaining that they were in that ice
watching the trailer
stuff?
Why are they there?
Well, don't you use in outer space things? Don't you use the gravitational pull of a planet to sling yourself around somewhere else?
They were fighting ice. It was like they were cutting.
Yeah, maybe they got sucked into it by accident. I don't know.
No, Shawnee's flying around in another little space space ship. What is that called?
I would call it a spaceship. Yes. Hello, Tony. Hello, Justin. So Ubisoft,
say, this biotech stuff.
EA's
getting out of control.
EA's was, in my opinion, also very bad, very cringy and awkward. They didn't really show. I couldn't. What did they show? I don't even remember. They talked about Madden, I think, and FIFA, and they showed some more Anthem. What else did they do? I can't even remember. Which is
so. Wait, what's up with the Division 2?
What's up with it? Looks good to me.
It's a real. Is it another real map? Is it still in New York or where's it?
I don't know where it is. It just looked good. I don't care where it is.
You want to buy it so that we can never play it together? And
we played a few times, and then you were like, "I'm scared." What?
You do get scared by video games for some reason.
Yeah, thank you.
I was playing it though.
I'll still play it. I like that game. I like the Division.
I'll still play it.
The new one looks good. It's just more of the same, but it's in a different place. That's fine, though. I'm down with that.
I'm scared.
So is that everybody? Oh, Digital Devolver had another absolutely insane press conference like they did last year, which is great. Hello, Mighty Koi. But they didn't show too much. But they did show, which might be, it's definitely one of my favorite games of E3, hands down. It might be my favorite. It's called My Friend Pedro. Did you see it? It's coming to PC and Switch.
No.
It looks amazing. Imagine Max Payne, but side-scrolling. But it you know, it's polygons. It's not sprites or anything like that. So it's all bullet time and jumping around and shooting people, but it's ridiculously over the top.
Like super
like
violent?
You can throw
Bullet
yes,
hell?
it's super violent. You could throw a pot up in the air. So like there's this part where the main character's down below,
What
and
is it
above
called?
him are
My
my friend Pedro.
friend?
Up above is like a guy on a platform here and a guy on a platform here. So I don't remember if your character throws it up or kicks it up, but it's a pan or a pot or something. He throws it up and is shooting it, and the bullets are ricocheting off the pot, hitting people. You can also
Bananas trailer?
shoot off someone's head and throw it at someone else or kick it into them. But the best part is the guy is like a ballerina when he's in the air. He's not dressed like a ballerina, but he does like flips and twists and turns.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's so funny. I wish I want to hit a button and show everybody the trailer. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it because it is fantastic.
Okay.
And the longer the trailer goes on, the crazier it gets. It's so good. I watched that and I was like, oh man, I wish this was coming to Switch. And then the trailer ended and it was like PC and Switch. That's it. I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Wow, this takes a lot of skill.
I showed it
How
to.
do you even aim in two different directions like that?
I'm pretty sure your character does all the weird flipping and everything on his own, and you're just aiming left and right while you walk.
Yeah, but he's shooting in two opposite directions.
You have two joysticks. It's so good. I just love him. I love seeing the guy blow off someone's head and then kick it at somebody else.
I haven't seen that.
So yes, it's ridiculously
go.
violent and over the top, but it's fantastic. Definitely one of my favorites of E3. I love that.
Does that mean it's a twin stick shooter?
I don't know. I'm guessing it has to be because he is like independently moving his arms. So I'm guessing when you're on the ground, you'll probably just run whatever direction you're pointing is where your guns are going.
Okay.
Or maybe there's a button that'll let you just spread your arms out and shoot both. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Oh, how the heck? How do you even aim a frying pan?
I don't even want to ruin it. The trailer.
Oh, skateboard and like. Whoa.
It's so good. I watched the trailer a million times.
When I saw My Friend Pedro, I was thinking this was going to be like a tie into Napoleon Dynamite. It's not.
No. Somebody in the chat did say vote for Pedro. No, it is not. So yeah, that's one of my favorites at E3 because it's just stupid fun, silly. Looks like a blast to
I
me.
just
So
watched
I'm
the
all
trailer.
about
When's
that.
that coming? I don't know.
I want to say 2019.
Oh, great. Of course.
So they had their press conference.
2019.
Yeah, Limited Run Games had a press conference to show off what eShop titles they're releasing not at retail, but they're doing physical copies or boxed copies of certain eShop games, and they had a ton of them. So if you don't believe in digital, like some of our listeners don't, then you should. Hello, Spectre. Some of them they have a whole lineup of games. I don't remember, but it was like a real good amount. I want to say like up to double digits that are physically releasing on Switch. So they're doing, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Ukulele's getting a physical release on Switch.
I saw.
What's it called? Dusk, an Elysian Tale. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah, I remember
That game's getting a physical release. Watch the whole damn thing. I'm surprised with how much they showed. That they are really like bringing a lot of physical stuff to the Switch.
Limited though, right? Each one is limited.
Yeah, they do. Like it depends on what it is. Like Ukulele is going to get a good amount, but some of the other games get like 5,000 copies or something like that.
So if you had to choose,
Hello, Mighty Koi.
if you had to
Golf
choose,
Story, yes. Sorry.
if you had to choose, who would you say had the most awkward conference?
See,
Or is it like
Sony,
a
the
draw?
first half of Sony was very awkward, but for the viewer, not because there weren't really people. Like they had the panel of 4 people talking to each other, and it was awkward to watch, but they were not acting awkward.
Right.
EA felt awkward the whole time, and Ubisoft in the beginning had some awkward moments, but not bad. So I might go with EA.
All right. I was just curious.
EA had your. Let's put it this way: if you were going to put together a trailer of the most awkward moments at E3 2018, you would go to EA's press conference. So there's my pick. So yeah, I would say Microsoft was my favorite. I'd put Nintendo next. I'd put I don't know where the rest go. Probably Ubisoft next.
Excuse me.
But yeah,
Nintendo's was pretty much the
Nintendo was standard Nintendo.
Smash Brothers.
Yes, they did focus heavily, very heavily on Smash Brothers. Seems like that's going to be their E3 thing from now on. They've done it for a couple of years running now, where they're like, "This is the game we're focusing on, and this game's coming out this year." That's going to be their thing. So
it was like
I think they did too much. I think they showed too much of Smash Brothers. Like we don't need that much of it. I get it.
They showed every single character and their special abilities.
The first 40% was other games coming to Switch, and then the rest of it was Smash Brothers. I get Smash Brothers is a big game, but I still think they dedicated too much time to it.
Sakurai?
Yes.
What's wrong with his health? He's got bad health? Poor health?
Well, he was like overworked, and both of his hands were like broken or whatever.
Oh, really?
But he's apparently they said he's in good health. I don't know about that. All right, so we will get into Nintendo's press conference in more detail. Let's cover some of the other stuff that happened at E3 first. EA announced at their press conference that Unravel 2 was a thing, and then they announced that Unravel 2 is out now, so they launched it at
when
E3.
Something flies under the radar.
Hi, David.
Was that the game with Yarny?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So Unravel 2 is out. The focus of this one is co-op. One character's red, one character's blue. Everybody's like,
you can change colors.
The focus is co-op. The characters are the colors of Joy-Cons. Like, this game seems tailor-made for the Switch, and they were like, no Switch.
All right.
So everybody, when the game launched that day, they were like, why the hell is there not a Switch version? It's a platformer that focuses on co-op, and the characters are even the same colors as the Joy-Con. And one of the developers said, just so you all know, it's not that we're not aware that Unravel 2 would be great on Switch. I mean, they even made it the right colors. But the reality is that a port would take a lot of work, and our small studio doesn't have the resources at the moment. If we could, we would. We haven't given up on it. We want to do it. We just haven't found a way to make it possible yet. If only this company were tied in with a publisher who had some money to help them do this. What a shame. Oh, wait. EA is publishing the game.
No, just calm down. EA has enough work of bringing Madden to the Switch.
Wait! They're not doing anything. I don't understand how you can listen. I know this guy can't publicly
say
other
games are not seeing the support on the Switch that they would like to see. Oh wait,
I don't understand.
There's like one EA game on the Switch right now, and
it did well enough to warrant another one.
But it was also a pared down version of what the other games were, like a pared down port.
I understand this guy can't say
we're going to bring Unravel 2 to the Switch, but it's not.
No.
It's not multiplayer. You can only play as one Yarny.
I understand this guy can't say, basically, talk to EA. It's not us. I get he can't say it, but to be like, maybe this is his way of like slyly saying it to get people riled up and be like, your publisher's EA. They can't give you some cash for this. But apparently they can't. And I don't think EA's spending a ton of money on Unravel. Let's be honest here. I love the first one. But compared to all the other franchises EA does, they don't have a little extra scratch to give to Unravel versus like all the licenses they got to pay for all their sports games. And Anthem is a huge project, like a $200 million
project. That also
project.
Makes you kind of question, what is EA doing with this company now that they've just finished Unravel 2?
Closing them down. This company's like Unravel 3,
turning
right?
it into glue. No, like
they'll have them work on it. They'll be working on the next Madden next year, or something stupid like that, and then they'll close them down. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Oh, they're using the Unravel team to color the socks for Madden.
Yes, you guys are really good with yarn and fabrics. We think we got some fabric.
Do you think that
How
would
about
sell
we unravel your team and fire all?
if they did it like a Kirby's Epic Yarn treatment to Madden? All the characters are yarn and
That
I guess
would be the
like
Nintendo version.
Little Big Planet.
If they brought it out on Switch, that's what it would be.
It'd be Little Big Planet soccer game.
BLP Software says, shame, said publisher seems apathetic at best towards the platform. Yeah, EA's stance towards the Switch is so much more mind-boggling than any other Nintendo system. I don't get it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
I do not get it. They put out one game on the system, and that game did well enough to warrant another installment. Listen to this. Listen to this statement. This is EA. This is EA sports producer Ben Haumiller. And he's talking about Madden 19 not being on the Switch. He says, we always think about every platform out there. It's really a decision of what's best for Madden and us as EA and what we're doing. You never rule out getting your game in front of players. You want to go where everyone is. We'd never rule it out. We just don't have any current plans right now. We want to go where everyone is. The Switch already has outsold the Wii U. It was the fastest selling system in the United States. I don't want to say North America. In the United States of all time. And
he's getting excited.
And they're like,
oh my God.
All right, this is the point we're at. Before the system comes out, EA says like, we want to sit back and see what happens. We're not sure if the system's going to do well. Okay, I don't like the statement. I get it. The Wii U did not do well. Completely understand. Now we're at the put up or shut up moment, and EA is like, a little more time. We're going to see, just check a little more time and see what we're going to do here. Like, you're lying. You are absolutely lying. You just don't want to take the time, the money, or the effort to put in bringing Madden to the Switch. FIFA was your one bet. FIFA did well enough to warrant a sequel because, like, of course they're going to make a second one because the first one did well and they don't have to spend money on another engine this time. This one's going to be cheaper than last year's game, so why not fart it out? It doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. I don't even play sports games, and this makes me so mad. I do not understand
they're just trolling at this point.
Right? Like, the system is successful. Your other games sold well. You have no reason not to do it.
I think if people, I don't even know what company makes Unravel, but if somebody on that team spent it like late nights or something on their own time getting it to work on the Switch, they'd bring it to EA, and EA would be like, no.
A lot of developers will do that when they're working under a publisher. They'll like have an idea for a game or a port that they want to do, and they'll do most of the grunt work on their own and bring it to the publisher and be like, look, this works. We're making it work. Can we do it? And 9 times out of 10, the publisher's like, okay, we see what you're doing. Well, yeah, we'll go ahead with
by the way, these are all the hours I put into that.
Rashef has the top-rated comment, and he says, there's no legacy engine we can port to, and we're too lazy to put any effort beyond that. BS to English translation. That is 100% the correct answer, in my opinion. They don't have an engine that they can use to put Madden on Switch, and they're not going to take time to port over the engine that the other versions are using. So they're just like, no answer over here, no answer over here, and we're certainly not taking time to make something happen, so whatever. They use the FIFA engine, and it'd be really weird football, but I guess they could do it. I mean, I honestly think that's the answer. They don't want to spend the time, money, or effort to port over an engine that would support Madden, so they're just not going to. Hi, Skip. Skip Bayless. You the real Skip Bayless? Now, on the other side of things, we've seen wonderful support from Bethesda on the Switch. We've seen Skyrim. We've seen Doom. Fallout Shelter was surprise released for the Switch at E3. We've seen
they're bringing
Wolfenstein 2 is coming out in like a week or two. Now, while this is not official, only because Bethesda didn't announce platforms at all for this game. They didn't say any platforms. They just said it exists. It looks like the next Wolfenstein game is also going to come to Switch, which makes perfect sense because Wolfenstein 2 is coming. They already have the engine working, so there'd be no reason for them not to bring it over. So at E3, Bethesda announced Wolfenstein Youngblood, which stars the daughters of B.J. Blazkowicz as the main characters this time around.
I mean, this photo doesn't sit well with me. Anyway.
It's a trailer grab. It was like a teaser trailer grab. It's not.
But the
not
date,
official art.
The date is.
Well, they didn't say a date. No, it's. I get that it's all placeholder, but they have their SKUs available for all the systems, and that one was put in there with it. So,
Because even the price is set to $30. That doesn't seem realistic.
I might believe that because this past Wolfenstein didn't do too hot.
Oh, that's too bad.
So Wolfenstein Youngblood, according to GameStop, and it was GameStop's internal computer system showed Wolfenstein Youngblood is coming to the Switch, and then later that same day, that listing went live on their website too. So I think it's legit. I think it's the real deal that Wolfenstein Youngblood is going to come to Switch, and like I said, it makes perfect sense, and it certainly falls in line with what Bethesda has said about their support for the Switch. They say if a game we're making makes sense for the Switch and we have the ability to bring it over, we will. So, you know, like the Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever it is not going to come to Switch. That's not happening. But something like this makes sense. Elder Scrolls 6 we're not going to see for like another 4 years maybe. It's not going to make. They're making that for next-gen systems. They're talking about it now. They revealed it in the teaser trailer now, but that's not now. That's next-gen. Ben Golden Triforce says, and Doom's announcement was retweeted by Panic Button, yet neither were confirmed for Switch. This is so weird. You would assume Bethesda would be bragging about Switch support. I think Bethesda does like to brag about their Switch support, and I think it's warranted, but I think they like to brag about it in a venue where that gets the attention in and of itself. Like Fallout Shelter is a game that's already been on mobile and PC. So they announced that at the show and say, and it's coming to PS4 and Switch right now. Go get it. So that I get.
Building Manager Simulator. Right.
Yeah, well, it's not my type of game. And they also announced that I don't know, what is it? Some card game. What's a Bethesda card game? Is it like I want to say it's Elder Scrolls related. I don't know. Elder Scrolls the card game.
Card game.
Card game. Somebody help me out. I don't know what it is, but they announced that
as Scrolls racing game.
They announced that as coming to Switch. But all their other games, they didn't announce platforms for. So it's not like they were just saying there isn't a Switch version. They did the same thing they did for other platforms. They also announced Doom Eternal, which is the next Doom game. And again, we've seen indicators from retailers that Doom Eternal is also going to come to the Switch, which makes sense because Doom is already on the Switch. Panic Button knows what they're doing for porting. I would imagine this next Doom uses the same engine. It all makes perfect sense. So I would be very surprised if that one doesn't come over as well. The only one that makes me sad, although I understand it not coming over, is Rage 2, because that was in development obviously long before Rage, long before the Switch was a thing.
I didn't even know they were making a sequel.
Yes, Rage 2, and it looks fantastic. It's like a mix of every Bethesda first-person shooter. So it looks like a mix of, to me, Doom and Wolfenstein and obviously the first Rage. But it's very like crazy over-the-top fun action. Like it doesn't take itself seriously. It looks good. I played the first Rage. It was okay.
I played a little bit of it.
But this one certainly looks better. Elder Scroll Legends. Thank you, guys. Lightning Bro and Mark.
I just remember those boomerangs that you could throw and decapitate people with.
Those are still in it.
Oh, good.
And that's the kind of direction that they're taking with this one. It's like, that thing's really fun and stupid. Let's do more things like that. So you have like punches that like knock people back, send them flying through. You have some kind of like grenade that you throw, and it's kind of like no gravity. They kind of like float through the air for a little bit and then take off or explode or something like that. It looks like a lot of fun. When I first heard they were doing another Rage, I was like, I don't really care. Then I watched it. I was like, oh, I'm actually sold on this. I like it. Plus, the theme song is great. It's I don't remember her name, but it's Andrew WK.
Oh, that's perfect.
And the best part is it's something. Yeah, so the song is all about killing.
Was it about partying?
No partying. Can somebody tell me the name of that song? So at Bethesda's conference, which I didn't even talk about, Bethesda's wasn't too cringy because Bethesda, they had some technical hiccups where like a teleprompter didn't work and somebody was left hanging. And, you know, they had a couple presenters who English isn't their native language, so they were a little rough going through. But they addressed that stuff as they went on, which is the thing. Like, they didn't, like, pretend it didn't happen and everything's good. Like, Pete Hines, their, whatever he is, I don't know, head honcho, came out and joked about some of the stuff, and he had a hiccup and joked about it, too. So, like, as long as you're like, hey,
can you imagine getting the hiccups during a presentation like that?
God. I want to kill myself.
Lightning Bro says the name of the song is "Get Ready to Die." So
I was hoping it was going to be called Rage Party or something.
So at Bethesda's conference, they started it off with Rage 2, and this is the perfect example. One of their guys came out. I forget who it was, but he's like, You guys already know about Rage 2 thanks to our great partners at Walmart Canada because they leaked the game by accident before it came out. But after that, they're like, let's take a look at Rage 2. And the lights went out and they came back on and Andrew WK was there and he performed the theme song live. And, you know, he's nuts and he's really into it. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. But they cut to the crowd and the crowd is like, you know, all your self-important bloggers and website, whatever you want to call them, and they're sitting there and they're just like, and somebody would tweet it out like, "You assholes! You got Andrew WK there. He's sweating his ass off and he's putting on a great silly performance." And you're just like, like I'm not gonna say I would be up and dancing because that's not my thing, but I'd be like, you know, tapping my toes and smiling and being like, "This is pretty cool."
Maybe they were tapping their toes. They just didn't smile.
I saw feet. I saw no toe tapping.
They had inserts of feet.
They had a foot cam. No toe tapping.
Toe cam.
Mighty Koi says Andrew WK doesn't seem to age. I agree. He looked. Well, I don't want to say he looked good because I don't know if he looks good. I appreciate his look. He always wears the same outfit, which I also like.
Yeah,
he looks this. I don't know who this guy is.
Really?
Oh, okay.
I probably do.
I don't want to say he's. How do you? I love Andrew WK.
He's a very energetic, positive guy who wears all white. He wears white jeans and a white T-shirt.
And he makes one very specific kind of music.
Yeah, and he has long, dirty hair and sings about partying.
He had a couple
almost
hit
exclusively.
songs, but they were both about partying, right?
Yeah, they both
time to party.
They had party in the title.
Party. But this one was Let's get ready
rage.
to die. Get ready to die.
That was like 18 years.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's a great song for the trailer. It was perfect. And Bethesda was like, "This is the theme song for our game." Not like this song encapsulates their game. They're like, this, like it's in the trailers and everything. That's the song that they're using. So it's cool that he was there to do it. I don't know when Andrew WK got popular. I think a lot of people would consider him a one-hit wonder. But
I think you're starting to feel the effects of your older age. Maybe a lot of these bloggers are just younger and they don't know who it is.
Trust me, that some of them were definitely not.
We also like hosted a kids show.
Yeah, it's something on Cartoon Network
for a while, right?
It was a show about like blowing stuff.
Well, yeah, of course,
destroying things. I don't remember what it was called. So there's your your Wolfenstein news. We'll see what happens there. We're skipping that because that turned out to be not true. All right, I already mentioned it, but Ubisoft, when they showed off Starlink at this year's E3, they showed off one trailer of Starlink, and then they showed off a second trailer, and the second trailer was a surprise, and Fox McCloud and the Star Fox team are going to be in Starlink Battle for Atlas, obviously only in a Switch version, and I want to clear this up. You can buy any version of Starlink Battle for Atlas on the Switch, and you get the Star Fox content. The Star Fox content is free. You do not pay for it. So you get the in-game characters, the exclusive mission. All that's free. If you want to buy the starter pack, that gets you the Star Fox R-Wing figurine and then a little Fox McCloud to go along with it. So if you just want the content and not the toys, you get that for free along with the base game. Just want to
when they presented that to Miyamoto, I'd say that was an awkward moment because he just smiled, and it almost looked like he was like, I can have this. Are you? Go back. Okay, let's go back.
I wish they would rehearse it a little bit more. Yeah. Plus, I think a lot of it is him. He understands English, but I think he's there trying to everybody's clapping and cheering, and Gimo is talking to him, and he's trying to listen to what he's saying and. They need to be like, all right, we're going to give you something. Even if they don't want to tell what it is, they're going to say, you're going to come up stage, we're going to give you something, and then we're going to go backstage. You follow me. That's it. But no, they try and wing it for some reason.
And then I also had this really kind of nostalgic feeling when he stood up. And video games are not 100% solely because of him.
Yes, definitely not true. Or definitely true what you're saying.
But a lot of what's going on at E3 is directly and or indirectly influenced because of his work in the 80s. And I was just like, man, this place is packed. There are tons of people at this event, and they're all kind of here
Yeah.
In one way or another, because of you or the work that you've done.
That's true.
That's pretty crazy, man.
I'll look at certain developers.
And he just gets up and he's like,
I'll look at certain developers and I'll think the same thing. I'm like, wow, you're here, and a lot of this is happening because of things you did 25, 30 years ago. It's crazy. So yeah, Starlink looks really good. The hands-on impressions from this year's show were fantastic. I read tons of positive stuff about it. Everybody's saying like, hey, this is like No Man's Sky if No Man's Sky was like really fun.
I remember watching the trailer thinking, hey, I wasn't too interested in it by watching the trailer. I wasn't totally paying attention. I was doing stuff. But then I started wondering, what happened to No Man's Sky? I thought that was supposed to be like this incredible experience, and it kind of came out, and then...
I mean, they're still doing stuff for it, but yes, there was, let's say, a bit of a backlash for it. Starlink is coming out this year on Switch. I think it's like October 17th or something like that. And you do not need the toys if you don't want them. And also, you do not have to play with the toys attached to the controller if you don't want them to. You can like scan them in once, and that's it. You can switch through stuff in menus. So all that stuff is superfluous if you don't.
My Switch to the store and scan them in?
Oh, I don't think so, because it's like Amiibo. Amiibo have those little blockers, RF blockers on the bottom. T27 Duck says, didn't see that coming. Good job, Ubisoft. Thumbs up. I didn't either. I'm sitting there watching the conference covering it for the site just in case Nintendo stuff was talked about. And Starlink came up, and I was like, okay, I got to pay attention. I'm typing up stuff that they were saying. Then they showed a second trailer, and I hear something, and I was like, was that Star Fox? And then they do like the little second noise, and I was like, oh my God, this is definitely Star Fox. And then it was. And obviously the developer...
They were super excited about it.
The developer was really excited about it. Like the lead developer, he was all about it. And there was kind of
like something in the way he talked. It was kind of just like, he's glad to let this out in the open so he doesn't have to keep it a secret anymore.
Yeah. It was a mixture of relief and passion. Right. Yeah, he was very passionate about it being there, and also very happy it didn't get leaked beforehand. Because Ubisoft stuff gets leaked all the time.
So much stuff got leaked beforehand.
Oh my God, this is probably the worst year for E3 leaks. All right, let's talk about Nintendo's press conference in general. I'm going to go over to their press release. So as you know, Smash Brothers was shown in detail. We knew it was coming to the Switch, but now we got a whole bunch of details. It's called Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash my butthole. It's called Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. They brought back that announcer. He's the guy. Xander Mobus.
Xander Mobus. I forgot his name.
It is basically, it's like a culmination of everything that Smash Brothers has been. So do you have a favorite character in Smash Brothers? Great. They're in it. Every single character that has ever been in Smash Brothers is going to be in Smash Brothers Ultimate. And I mean every character, including the third-party characters.
I didn't think that was a big deal until they talked. Like, I was just like, oh, I mean, they've kind of coded them out, right? They should be able to just not copy and paste, but at least they have an idea. And then I saw Kirby. Kirby can copy everyone's abilities. So there is not one Kirby in the game. There's one Kirby for every other character as well as the original Kirby. And when you put it that way, it's like, wow, like, that is a lot of work there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's the whole talk of this being a new game or a port. Nintendo says it's a new game. Some people say it's a port. Really, it's different when you look at fighting games, because every fighting game is basically a port of the last one. You have a majority of the characters that appeared last time reappearing again. They update the graphics and the moveset. So it depends on how you want to look at it. I don't know why this is something people complain or talk about. I don't get it at all. But so all those characters there. Plus, we have so far announced 2 new characters. And again, I appreciate Nintendo saying this. Sakurai was like, there's a ton of characters in this game from other games. I don't want to focus on new announcements. I don't want you to think there's going to be a ton of new characters in this game. But we did announce 2 new characters. So he's not saying there's not going to be other new characters. But he's like, listen, the focus is Smash Brothers from the start to now. We're getting all those characters in here. But 2 of the new characters are Ridley, which has been asked for Jesus Christ, 15 years now. So they're finally doing it.
Jesus Christ asked for this?
Jesus Christ asked for it. And then the Inkling, which we knew from the last trailer. So Inkling boy and girl. I don't. Yes, so those hats.
Yeah, at Dorney Park.
Yeah.
Nondescript. I don't think.
Yeah, right. Nondescript Inkling. Ink Child hat. So Smash Brothers is coming out December 7th. 2018.
That's his
and
year!
It's got an insane amount of stages. So seems like all the stages from the past games, as well as a good amount of new ones. I think at last count, we're nearing 90 stages in that game. And that's not including the 2 different versions of those stages, the Omega version and the whatever they were calling it. Plus, they talked about echo characters, which is basically like they're kind of like clone characters, but not clones. They've been given a little more care. So, for example, Peach has an echo character, and it's Daisy. And it's not just like, here's Peach with a yellow dress. It's like, okay, here's Daisy. She actually looks like Daisy. She just plays like Peach. So Daisy is technically in Smash Brothers Ultimate. So that was a major focus of their E3. And it works with all the Amiibo and all that jazz. You know that. Also, one of the worst kept secret of E3, I would say. Fortnite was revealed for the Switch during Nintendo's presentation, and they did what many were expecting / hoped they would do. And they said, Fortnite is coming to the Switch, and it's out right now, and it starts right now. So that day, like an hour or 2 after the press conference, they had a
much more successful launch than that water backpack guy.
Yes, they did. So like an hour or 2 after the press conference, or after Nintendo's E3 2018 Direct, you could download Fortnite. And I'm sure many of you have it now, because the day after it came out, Nintendo announced that over 2 million people downloaded the game. So I imagine that number has easily doubled by now. It's a free game. It's free. It's free real estate. So that was surprise launched. We got a little bit more on Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. We don't need to talk about that stuff. You know all about that. They showed off the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 expansion pass content, which is called Torna, the Golden Country, which is available on September 14th. There's going to be a retail option for that, as well as the regular digital. So if you have the season pass or the expansion pass, you're getting the digital version. If you haven't done any of that stuff yet, you could go with the retail version. Nintendo also announced Super Mario Party, which was a brand new reveal for Nintendo at E3. And my God, am I happy about this one, because it looks like a return to form for Mario Party. It's not everybody hop in a car and you all move around together on the board and all that stupid crap. It's everybody on a game board. You move individually. 80 new mini games. First Mario Party with online play. As far as we know, it doesn't have traditional board game online play. What it's doing is a set of 5 mini games that rotates, and you go on and play those with 3 other people. There's a leaderboard for that as well, and some other stuff's going on too. But it is online play. You can play with friends, or you can play with strangers. Yes.
Or you can play with strangers' friends.
You can.
My most intrigued moment from that is how you can link multiple switches in like weird orientations.
This is something we talk about on the podcast often. Oh no. We have like a patent, and I'm like, here's a patent from Nintendo. This is what it shows. Now this may turn into a game, or it may never be seen again. And in this instance, we saw a patent that showed exactly what is showed in this game to a T. So the patent a few months back showed 2 Switch units being placed by one another and interacting with one another. And they showed it in the patent by like a banana. They put 2 Switch units together to form a full picture of a banana. And somebody
was
like,
a banana in your Switch, or you just have it?
Somebody was rubbing the banana, and we were like, what the hell does any of this mean? Yeah. So at E3, that trailer showed that you can use 2 Switch units together and line them up in different ways to make different layouts for certain mini games, like a staggered layout or design for the tank mini game or something like that. But also they showed later on Treehouse Live a mini game where you have to make a full banana. So there's like a whole bunch of different pieces of bananas, and you have to take the switches and spin them around to line up a banana to make a full picture of a banana. Then you swipe both screens to lock in your picture, and the game's like, yeah, that's a banana. So you play this with 4 people, and you play it while you're all sitting together at a table, and it's like kind of like hot potato, who's going to find the last banana before time runs out. And every time somebody finds a banana and swipes the screen, it clears and gives you a whole bunch of different banana shapes, and you have to find how they line up and connect them together. So you don't want time to run out when it's your turn. I mean, it looked fun, but it was literally the exact same thing we saw in the patent, which gives me hope for that patent we saw with Beth the cat and whoever else was in that stupid like space cat patent that they had.
Did we ever get that rideable Wii peripheral?
No,
but there's still a chance, is what you're saying.
Yeah, now I guess there's a chance.
I mean, if you look at the evolution of systems from the Wii, Wii U, and Switch, they're all interrelated. You know, it's just been it's truly an evolution. They can still have a rideable horse peripheral for the Switch.
Nintendo's just like waiting for that day where they're down to like their last penny, and they're like, "This is our time." Bringing out the Hail Mary. that riding horse. That's how it's going to be.
They only have 1 penny left in their war chest.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, I don't remember what they got now. They got something like 11 billion or something like that. So it's going to be a while before we see that thing.
So they're doing okay.
But it could happen.
They're getting by.
Yeah. All right. There was Super Mario Party. We also got our first real look at the new Fire Emblem game for Switch, which unfortunately got pushed to 2019. It's coming out spring 2019. It was originally slated for this year, but now we got the full name and actually saw what the game looked like. It's called Fire Emblem Three Houses. The player can maneuver the main character freely and interact with other characters to build relationships and gather information at various points within the game. Turn-based tactical RPG will put new strategic twists on battling with formations of troops, supporting individual units on a battlefield. Players will get to know 3 main characters: Edelgard, Dimitri, and Cloud, who play key roles. Yeah, it looks like you can command your army to take certain shapes, because there's that one point where there's like a flying V shape, like the leader in the front is like, "Bah!" And everybody behind him is like into a triangle, and they all run out there. So that's spring 2019. A new game that was announced that kicked off their press conference was Daemon X Machina, which looks really freaking cool. I think it's a new fast-paced mech action game from Kenichiro Tsukada, who is the guy who did the Armored Core series. So I think he knows a bit about mechs. Players take their customizable arsenal-powered suit on a variety of missions to thwart the enemy at all costs. They can choose and equip their arsenal with a multitude of weapons, obtain more from downed enemies, and swap them on the fly to suit their strategy in the face of ever-changing threats. Plus, it has destructible environments. You see a building, you can knock it down if you want to. Looks really cool. Has a lot of like little mechs to fight, but also like absolutely ridiculously huge enemies. It has a very interesting cel-shaded look to it. It's definitely cel-shaded, but it's definitely
I had
different.
Like I was watching and I was like, this kind of reminds me of like I first I thought it was like a No More Hero, like a game inside of a game, like from No More Heroes or something, because it had that No More Heroes.
It does
feel, especially because the mech has a giant beam katana, and the way it's all drawn was very, very much No More Heroes.
Yeah, I thought it had a No More Heroes visual style too, but definitely like kicked it up a notch. But yes, I thought the same thing. So they showed that. I
kind of thought that Travis Touchdown was going to jump out.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo would have Travis Touchdown jumping out of the mech and screaming like, "Show's over, F head," or something like he used to.
Strawberry on the shortcake.
Yes, you could say that. Another one that was leaked before the press conference was Overcooked 2, but it is confirmed. It's the sequel to Overcooked. They showed. I know people like this game, but it scares me beyond belief. Any of those games where it's like Diner Dash, or any of those games where it's like, keep track of all these people.
Those make you really anxious.
I do like I would never play it by myself, but you know, this is meant to be played with other people. I think it could be fun, but it would make me very nervous. But the first one did really well. Sequel's coming out August 7th. It has online play this time. And they showed it off during Treehouse Live, so I got a good look at it. And it does look fun. And everybody, while they were playing, like all the they had 2 Nintendo people and 2 of the developers on the game all playing together. And, you know, every Treehouse Live segment is supposed to be like, this is our game. We thought about this when we did it. This new mechanic is here. And Overcooked 2 was like, this is our game. We're going to do a 4-player game. I need the lettuce. Give me the lettuce. Where's the tomato? Oh, the water's overflowing. It's like 15 minutes of just everybody screaming. But I mean, it showed the game. It showed how much fun it can be to play with somebody else. I know.
You're in hot air balloons?
Yeah, they put the kitchens in all different weird spots. So you have just like the regular kitchen. Like the kitchens are different levels. Right? Yeah. So like level 1 is regular kitchen. Level 2 is a hot air balloon. Level 3 is like outer space or something like that. Yeah, the hot air balloon one was they're cooking in a kitchen on a hot air balloon, and then it like crashes and like falls down into a city, and they break into a building, and like there's like a chasm between the two halves of the kitchen, so you have to throw things to each other.
Did you ever see the cooking show? It was like Chef Roulette or something like that.
Yes, I liked that show.
And that was the same kind of thing. Like somebody would be making something, and then the whole stage would rotate, and you'd have to end up making somebody else's food.
I liked that show a lot. They also showed Killer Queen Black, which was, again, leaked before E3. Yeah, but it is the Switch adaptation of the arcade game. It looks really cool, actually. This was my first time seeing like what it actually is.
That's coming to other systems though, too, right? Or just...
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
I thought it was...
But basically, it's very quick games, and there's 3 ways to win each game. It's either by riding a snail from the, I guess, from one end of the screen to the other, or from the middle to your end of the screen. I don't remember. Or collecting enough eggs, or defeating the queen. So there's 3 ways to win each game, and you have to keep track of all 3. And it has online play.
And it kind of looks like Joust.
Yeah, it reminded me of Joust, definitely. Hollow Knight got a surprise announcement in the form of it's available now. So Team Cherry,
Hollow Knight,
Team Cherry kept getting asked, when is your game coming out on Switch? And they're like, we'll have news on that soon. We'll have news on that soon. Well, the news was Nintendo announced it during E3 and was like, it's out right now. And as of yesterday on the Switch eShop, it is #1 on the Switch eShop for paid games.
Right.
It's not going to be Fortnite, obviously, but. And I hear it was well worth the wait. I hear they did an excellent job with the port, 60 frames per second. All good. They showed more Octopath Traveler, which is right around the corner. That's July 13th. There's a new demo out for Octopath Traveler right now, and that demo's save data will transfer into the main game, so it gives you a reason to play. You played the Octopath Traveler demo, right?
Yes.
Did you like it?
It was okay. Yeah, I played as two different characters.
Yeah, I think there's 2 more in this one. I think, and plus this demo includes all the changes and updates they made based on player feedback of the last demo. So it might be interesting to see what you think of this new demo. But yes, that comes out July 13th. Also, one that was rumored and confirmed, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is coming to the Switch, and a lot of people were very angry that game didn't come to the Switch to begin with. So now we're getting it this year. So there you go. Dragon Ball Fight. I don't know. Well, it's Dragon Ball Z, so I'm figuring this is Dragon Ball Fighter Z, even though there's no space in between Fighter and Z. Yeah. Dark Souls we already knew about. Wolfenstein, Monster Hunter, FIFA, Starlink.
This is weird. On your
Isn't that weird?
Main like live blog thing, you go from Dragon Ball Fighters to Smash Brothers information for one post, and then The World Ends With You, and then back to Smash Brothers. Speaking of which,
it's a little busy while I'm doing that. I might have formatted something wrong.
Speaking of which, Mario includes Cappy.
Reginella says I'm supposed to pronounce it Fighters.
Okay. Fighters.
Even though this
is Smash Brothers has Cappy.
But do you like capture your opponents?
Don't know. They didn't show
or if like
that'd be great. You could just capture them and walk them off the stage.
Or if I drop like a Snorlax or something, or like you open a Pokeball, right? And it's like one of those things that just affects everybody or whatever. I don't know how Smash Brothers works.
Smash your brother.
Can you capture one of those, Brad?
I don't know. Mr. Peanut Butter has a top-rated comment. He says, what a waste of time. Where was Bayonetta? Where was Metroid? Where's No More Heroes? What the hell were they thinking? 20 minutes on one game? Jeez.
What a bunch of crap.
There you go. So he wanted to see 2 games that we know aren't coming this year, and then 1 game we know is coming this year.
Hey, all the other game companies, we're talking about stuff that's not coming for another year.
Yeah, right. Get in there. I mean, Nintendo did talk about things that aren't coming this year. We just thought they were.
Gotta build up the hype. And
they bumped them back. Well, they kept saying they're focusing on the 6 to 9 months, the next 6 to 9 months. So. Yoshi Switch, which doesn't have a name other than Yoshi Switch.
Top story.
Why?
This is a non-story.
Because they didn't show it in the press conference. We thought it was going to be 2018, and everybody's like, they didn't show it. What's going on? So Nintendo was like, yeah, that's not a 2018 game anymore. Yoshi Switch is going to be 2019. I'm very sorry.
What else is coming after 2018?
In 2019 or
just after 2018?
2019.
Is it weird if we jump between 2018 and 2018?
Wobble Bobble says, no, this is the one game I really wanted updates on. No Switch delays until it's starting to flounder. Now everything's delayed. Yoshi, fire them. They should have kept their pace up. This hurts. I wanted to show a new trailer to my son and get a release date. Not hear about alternate sound effects for Smash costumes. Bummed out. Well,
bummed out.
Make your own Smash Brothers trailer. Your kid's not gonna, or your own Yoshi trailer. Your kid's not gonna know.
We need to do a promotional tie-in with Smash Burger and Smash Brothers. It seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, you can like fight each other with burgers. Metroid Prime 4, not at E3, obviously. Still in development. Not ready to show more of it yet.
Or like you're at a Smash Burger and a helium balloon with just enough helium to keep it afloat, like comes like floating through the dining room, and you can smack it down.
Yeah,
and then
it'll be filled with French fries.
Yeah,
French fries or French toast.
Brussels sprouts.
Bill Trinan says the main thing is, as people have probably realized by now, we show things when we think they're ready to show them, and when we think we're ready to show Metroid Prime, we'll show Metroid Prime. So they aren't showing it because they're not ready to show it. And if you don't like it, you can go sit on a rock. So yeah, we don't know if Metroid Prime 4 is going to be 2019. Hopefully,
I really got to get back and play Metroid Prime 2.
Between Bayonetta and Metroid Prime 4, hopefully one of them is 2019. Adam says, whatever, man. Call me a fanboy, but Ridley was all the Metroid I needed for now. Thanks, Sakurai. Wow, that's happy. That's nice. Hello, John Cena. How are you? That looks like a great hefty bag you got there.
Is that the real John Cena?
He was right here. I just saw him. He's gone now. Oh, I don't need to do that. Splatoon 2 is getting new weapons until December. So they pushed it further. They're like, you guys are supporting Splatoon 2 really well. So it's getting more updates longer than we said. New weapons. Some new stages as well. Some of that content we already know. Other stuff we do not.
They can do a Splatoon music game and call it Splatoot.
Yeah, or just Splatoon, T-U-N-E.
When people hear toot, they think about farting. Or is that the point?
It is.
Nintendo also took the opportunity during their Splatoon 2, World Championships to announce that the Octo expansion was launching the next day, which was tomorrow at the time, which was Thursday for us now.
You know what they need? A Dr. Octopus expansion.
So the Octo expansion is available right now if you want it. That's 80 plus new stages of single player stuff. Sorry. Hylar says, yeah, wow, the reaction to that news was electric. I wasn't expecting the Octo expansion until July or something. This is awesome news. This is the one reason I love Nintendo. They don't save all their information for their presser or their direct. They continue to announce things all day, all week long. Also, I want that Octo Girl amiibo. Yes, they announced 3 new amiibo. You have an Octo Girl, an Octo Boy, and an Octo Ling.
Amiibo is
3-pack.
Plural, not amiibo.
The plural for amiibo is amiibo.
It's not amiibi?
No. For you, maybe.
Amoeba.
Thanks, A-Gamer. Have fun. Enjoy it.
Amiibe?
Nintendo also said, hey, we know you like the GameCube controller for Smash Brothers. Don't worry, you can use the GameCube controller for Smash Brothers Ultimate. Also, on top of that, we're making more Smash Brothers Ultimate GameCube controllers. And on top of that, we're making more of the GameCube controller adapters for the Switch, which is the same thing as the one that was on the Wii U, but those sold out very quickly.
Connect to the Switch?
USB. Done.
Oh, you gotta be so close to your TV.
Well, you're using a GameCube controller and they're wired, so you gotta be.
Right. That's why
plugged
I
in.
was questioning.
The GameCube controllers, the new ones, their wires are pretty long, actually. So.
And that means you won't be able to play it unless it's in the dock with the controller. Right?
Yes.
I mean, you can play using the Pro controller or whatever when it's desktop.
You can't play tabletop with the dock plugged in and your GameCube controller plugged in that way. No,
I'm saying there's no way to connect your GameCube controller on the go.
I understand what you're saying. No,
Right.
there's not.
All right, I'm just looking to make that statement and confirm it.
Okay.
For everybody
I
listening.
mean, that'd be a very specific setup, but yes.
It's a portable game system. Oh, I've got
Music.
Smash Brothers.
So I was like,
Is that what I sound like? I've got Smash Brothers Ultimate, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. You want me to bring it over and we can play it at your house? Sure. Oh, right. Can't play I'm using GameCube controllers because I'm not bringing my dock to your house. We were just going to play tabletop. You know?
Yeah, bringing the dock is very cumbersome.
Yeah, it's smaller than this laptop.
Yeah,
What are you whining about?
It's like two of these phones is the dock.
Bring your system over to my house. Let's plug it into my TV and see who's complaining. It's such a pain to get behind the TV because it's mounted. What?
Nothing.
I've brought my dock to houses before. I have a second dock. It's in the living room now. That's the one I move around. Plus, if you go to Target, you might be able to get a dock for $13 because they made a whoopsie.
Is that a wireless dock?
It
What's that next on the news train?
it's a Switch Caddy wireless, but it's a dock when you plug it in. Laxter says, I hope that's not the final design for the logo on the controller. The ones for Wii U were much better. Also, I hope they release a purple one this time around or an orange one. It's not orange, Laxter. It's spice. They called it spice.
That's not a color.
That's what they called it. And I used to call orange, and people were like, no, Rummy Cover, it's spice.
Actually,
They're getting spicy. Salty. They're getting salty.
We're not doing any of that. We don't have
salty and
time
spicy.
for this stuff. We're late. We're not doing any of that.
Fortnite hit 2 million downloads. We knew that already. What's next?
Yeah, we did. We talked about Fortnite, but also we got to address this because it is a big issue. Fortnite on the Switch, you play it, it's great. Fortnite on the PS4, you see the Switch version is out, and you're like, I want to go over to the Switch version. Well, you can't bring your login because Sony doesn't like that. So if you want to bring your username or whatever you want to call it from PS4 to Switch, you can't unless you're ready to like lose stuff and not be allowed to use that name on PS4 anymore. So there's that on top of Sony not allowing crossplay. And this made people very unhappy and caused a lot of negative news for Sony this past week, so much so that they actually had to release a statement about it, which was pretty much a non-statement, but they still released a statement about it.
On console.
But it plays great for Microsoft and Sony because their people were constantly asked, like, Sony won't do crossplay. How come you guys won't? So Microsoft and Nintendo get to look like the good guys here. Reggie was like, listen, what our competitors do is their business. All I can tell you is we want to make sure that our fans can play the way they want to play, and we wanted to do what Epic wanted to do with their game, so that's what we did. Reggie also talked about Switch ports, and they were like, hey, Reggie, how come some Switch ports take such a long time to come to the Switch after the other versions? And he's like, well, see, here's the thing. Video games are made, and then the Switch was announced, and some of those games were like 3 years in development already, so they can't just be like, yep, we're doing it same day or date. But now that the Switch is 16 months old, we're going to get closer release dates. And he says by the end of this year, he expects a lot of the third-party games to multi-platform games to be day and date with the other versions. So if you look, for example, you have something like Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is coming to the Switch, and the wait time for that won't be as long as some of the wait times on other games. If you look at something like Wolfenstein 2, that launched on PS4 and Xbox One not too long ago, a decent amount of months, but not too long ago. We're getting it in a couple weeks. So the time is certainly coming down. That's definitely true because we are dealing with games that didn't start with a Switch version in development. They are just porting after the fact. So when developers can decide they want to do a Switch version. Now they're deciding it for games that they're starting development on rather than games that have already been in the works for a number of years. Bluncy says, sure thing. I'll believe it for sure as soon as I see it. Well, that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, when you see that that's happening, then hopefully you will believe it. The Switch has no games, as we all know. But as of right now, the Switch currently has over 700 games on the
Show me a
eShop.
list. I'll believe you.
Go on the eShop. There's your list.
Oh, okay.
Done. Panic Button.
But I want it alphabetized.
I don't know if you can do that. Maybe. Panic Button, who did the porting duties on Wolfenstein 2 and Doom, as well as Rocket League, so they know what they're doing on Switch. They said they have something else in the works for Switch. Oh, is that not this story? Oh, this isn't that story, but whatever. That's the important part. They have something to announce for Switch, a high-profile title for the Switch. They're porting something, and apparently it's going to be revealed next month. So, what is it? I don't know. But it's a high-profile
There's
port.
2 Bethesda games.
It could, they could be talking about Youngbloods.
Bethesda games, as well as who made Rocket League. Pocket Rocket League.
What's the name of the company?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm just thinking, like they seem to be working very closely with Bethesda.
Well, the Panic Button.
It's going to be Mass Effect 3.
Panic Button is saying that because their expertise in Switch is so high and because the Switch is doing so well, they're very sought after right now for by companies that are like, hey, we want our game on Switch. Can you do it? And they're like, well, yeah.
Gears of War.
No, I'm going to say definitely not.
Unravel 2.
I'll get to your comment, your top comment on that when I get to the correct story because I jumped ahead by accident. Real quick, Reggie says that Nintendo has more to show in the weeks and months ahead. Obviously, they do. I mean, yeah, they don't announce everything at E3 and they're like closing up shop. Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
We're done making games, but we're not done taking your money.
Reggie also says that loot boxes got a bad rap. Loot boxes. He says a gameplay mechanic that offers the consumer something to buy when they're not sure what's inside can be interesting as long as it's not the only way to get those items. So he's like, loot boxes where you pay for stuff, okay, that's kind of good for us, but it shouldn't be the only way you're able to get that content.
Some of the stuff that they have is really cool, but you don't want everything.
Yeah. So, I don't know, just Reggie's, obviously the soundbite became, Reggie says, or Nintendo says loot boxes got a bad rap, and everybody's like, oh, great, Nintendo's gonna... No, that's not the case.
Calm down.
Plus, I'm going to do my impression of Reggie starting every answer to every interview. Look. And then he goes, says it every single time. Look.
Is he a little stiff?
Confrontational.
Is he a little stiff on camera?
The man can't move. He's made entirely out of Bigfoot pizza. That was his invention. That's what he lives on.
I wanted to say that earlier.
Yes.
It did bother me a little bit to see him reading a teleprompter during the Nintendo Direct.
Look at camera. Look.
I know he's a busy guy, but let's try to just memorize our lines and try to shoot around that, if possible.
What are you talking about? His Direct thing?
Yeah.
It's just this. He's not.
Shut
to tell you the truth, it's funny. When he's doing the serious stuff, he seems very stilted. When he's doing the funny stuff, I think he's great. Like where he was like playing, this was in other videos, he's been like playing a virtual boy and like exercising and like he's got a really, the video where he's like a robot and all that stuff. He's good in that stuff. He's stupid and fun. But this other stuff, he has it's like, here's our stupid, silly things to do. And Reggie's like, okay, I can let loose. And then there's the stuff like the Direct where he's like, okay, I'm corporate Reggie now. I gotta be corporate.
But his deliveries has been the same for the last like 10 years. Has he been with them for 10 years? Not since, was he with them for the week? Yeah. There it is. Wow.
Look, I'm about kicking ass and taking names. All right? Get off my back.
I do two things.
That's not all this year.
Nintendo stock also has been dropping a lot, and it started before E3 and continued after E3. Oh, you know? Well, you made your WWE money, so
listen,
be
let's
happy.
not talk about my finances. And
So Reggie was asked why the stock drops, and Reggie's like, who knows? He literally said, who knows? And he's like, analysts get things wrong all the time. Honestly, we don't know why stock drop to begin with. We think it was because of that Panasonic quality of life thing, because the stock started to drop before E3 happened.
Listen.
Then E3 stuff got leaked, and more investors were like, "Oh, that's the reason." Then we got to E3, and people were like, "Oh, Nintendo's showing was weak," and then it continued. So we're just like, down the hill. But
I think it's because, so when you read a Japanese book, you read right to left and backwards, right? So I think the stock, some people interpret the stock the same way. So when it's doing really well, they think it's doing poorly, and they start pulling money out automatically.
I was really hoping you're going to say that's like Reggie's explanation. Like, the stock in Japan, you're actually reading it incorrectly. We're going up.
No, I think the rest of the world sees it, and they think they're doing poorly, and it's actually doing well.
Shillelagh says, he quotes Reggie's "Who Knows" about the stock thing, and he says, "This is that right there is a perfect example of why I dislike Reggie so much. We all know the reason why the stock price dropped. We don't. We don't. We know many potential reasons. Reggie knows why too, but he instead chose to lie. Investors weren't impressed with Nintendo's E3 Direct. That's why, Reggie. That's not true. There was a stop slide before that. Part of that continued drop.
It started to do better for a couple of days during E3, and then it continued dropping again.
Part of the sustained drop had to do with Nintendo at E3, because some investors, I believe, thought that they had a weaker showing. And then Reggie's like, I don't know, we got Fortnite on Switch and it did over 2 million in a day. It's not like there's not good news out there. The game's free. It's also the hottest game in the world. So yes, part of the continued slide obviously had to do with Nintendo at E3. And if you follow Nintendo's history at E3, this is almost always what happens. But 2 weeks prior to that, we had another slide, another 6% drop or something like that.
It's like if they don't come to an E3 with a new console or like something other, like some device console, either it's handheld or it's a home console, the stock is gonna dip or something. Like
I said, there's the quality of life thing that was the original explanation for that drop.
Maybe it would have done better if they didn't announce Super Smash Brothers Ultimate during their event, and they announced it like they did in 2006, where it was like, we've got nothing else for you, and then midway through the day they're like, oh wait, I forgot.
That's another point that people make. They're like, hey, Nintendo really doesn't give a crap about what happens with their stock. Like, they're not basing their announcements on how are the investors and analysts going to react to it, because what I think happened is we had the quality of life thing, yes. Then we had the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu thing. And people were like, well, that's their big game for E3. And they revealed it 2 weeks ahead. Now they're not going to have anything for E3 because we already know Smash Brothers is going to be there. So it became like a whole bit, E3 is always about, what's your surprise? It has to be surprises. If there's no surprises, it's not good.
Whatever happened to Mario Kart for mobile?
They mentioned it in an interview. They're still working on it, but they didn't. Could you imagine if they showed that during the press conference? The crap storm there would have been.
Yeah.
It's showing a mobile game during my E3. What are you doing, Nintendo? Worst show ever. There you go. That was my internet reaction.
Pretty accurate. Wow.
Yeah, right. Nintendo also says that conversations are ongoing concerning other streaming services on Switch. So if you want YouTube on Switch, or you want Netflix on Switch,
Pornhub?
He's not saying they're definitely coming Pornhub on Switch. But Reggie did say, when we launched the Switch, we were very clear we wanted to position the device as a game-playing device. We've done that. And so you've seen Hulu, for example, come to the platform. In terms of other services, the conversations are ongoing. We've got nothing to announce right now, but certainly those opportunities will come in due time. So it's not a definite things are going to happen, but he's saying that things are being talked about. Shillelagh says, nearly a year and a half into the life of the system and still no sign of them. There's no excuse in this day and age. I think there is an excuse. Personally, do I want to see them on Switch? Yes. I think it'll be a fine idea. I think it's a great idea because
I thought you said gaming, strictly gaming.
Yeah, but that, personally, I don't mind if they're there. I'm not going to use them. I understand people want them there. I wouldn't say no, they shouldn't be there. Yeah. But now you made me forget my point.
Because it was weak.
It's it's gone. Oh, I need to reach. If I reach Shillelagh's comment, it'll come back.
personally.
Shillelagh's comment said, nearly a year and a half into life is still no sign, and there's no excuse in this day and age. Oh, I was going to say, I think there is an excuse. Are you telling me that the majority of people that own a Switch don't have some other device to watch this stuff on? Exactly. This Nintendo wants you to watch the stuff on the other systems because they want you to buy games on theirs. That's why they're doing it. They don't, if you're going to use an Xbox to watch Netflix, they don't give a crap because then you're not playing games on Xbox. And then when you want to play a game, you're going to play it on Switch. Like, they want Switch to be focused on games. So watch, like, your phone, your tablet, your Xbox, your PS4, your smart TV, any of those, they all have these apps already. Like, I understand that you want them there, and I don't think them there being there would be a bad thing. But you have other devices that do it already. And Nintendo wants to be a device where you play games. So,
not to mention, that just gets confusing. You know, like, well, what am I logged into? How do I watch this? Oh, you know, and then, oh, if you live with your family or like, you know, parents or whatever, even your kids, one way or the other, you're not in the house and they want to watch something. It's like, well, oh, I want to use this. And no, stupid, use the smart TV.
North America this week's downloads. We got Fortnite, we got Hollow Knight, we got Paladins Night, we got Lego The Incredibles Night, we got Fallout Shelter Night, we got Splatoon 2 Octo expansion, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 got new DLC as well. We got Super Sidekicks 3, the Neo Geo game, Alchemist Jousts, Beaker, yeah, sure, Beaker Reloaded, Bloons TD5, Chameleon Run Deluxe Edition, Grab the Bottle. I recommend watching that trailer if you want to see a funny looking game. Inc., Jolt Family Robot Racer, La Nota, Morhun Remake, Auto, Parallel, Pub Encounter, RBI Baseball 18, Soccer Slammers, and The Lost Child.
SLU.
First comment comes from Steel Diver, and he says, an okay week for an okay E3. I don't have any interest in Ford Guy. Fortnite. But everyone on my friends list is playing. I feel like such a bitter old man not being into it. Well, if you haven't played it, then how do you know you're not into it? Plus, you got no excuse. The goddamn game is free. If you don't like it, you didn't spend any money on it, and
it's
you can delete it
too.
There's no reason not to play it. It's free. Europe, what they get? They got Fortnite, they got Hollow Knight, they got Fallout Shelter and Jolt Family Robot Racer, Hexologic, Scalatrix, Paladins, Super Sidekicks 3, Beaker Reloaded, Chameleon Run Deluxe Edition, Pub Encounter Soccer, Slammers, The Number Puzzle, Whip Whip, Arc, that's the name of the game, and 2 exclamation points. Arcade, Archives Donkey Kong, 3DS got, or new 3DS got Up Bot. Pre-orders on a whole bunch of garbage.
Oh
my god, this goes on forever.
Paladins?
Yeah.
Isn't there something with that?
3DS Theme Shop got Stego and Sauron, The Wood, Jurassic Cubs Beautiful Summer, Jurassic Cubs Planet H2O, and JC 3-pack. What about Paladins? Yeah, what do you want?
Did we talk about that last week, or is that this week? That, like, you're getting a different experience. It's not like the full game.
No, it's the full game. We talked about this, and you're saying it again. It's the full game. It's just you have all the extra, like...
You have to buy... No, right now you have to buy it.
Yes.
The free version's coming out later.
Yeah.
Okay,
that is true. Steven Tendo says, I wonder what the most popular item on this list will be. Already loving Fortnite on Switch, and it's only a matter of time before I buy Hollow Knight. I heard maybe I should wait for the final expansion before I play it, though. A good week, in my opinion. I would say so, my friend. Sakurai did his old thing where he's like, this is my last Smash Brothers game, except he does that all the time. He's been saying that for years now. Now he says, the Smash series may continue in the future, but I don't know if we'll ever be able to pull this off, so I really hope you'll enjoy this iteration of the game. So.
Does Sakurai have siblings? Does he even know what it's like to have brothers?
His Smash Brothers franchise spawned from his hatred of not having brothers. First comment, our top-rated comment comes from The Colonel. The Colonel says it was the bargain he made. Sure, he can stop making Smash games, but the moment he does, the contract is broken. All of his borrowed youth will evaporate, and he'll shrivel into a wizened old man.
Like the picture of Dorian Gray.
He knows the cost. His hands have already been punished just for the mere mention of quitting. The Colonel, by the way, or Crazy Colonel, has been doing our weekly podcast images.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What did you call it? Bene Smoocha?
Bene Smoocha.
Fantastic stuff. He also did the artwork for the latest episode of Parents Play, which is the first time we've ever had original artwork for Parents Play, and it was lovely. So thank you to him. And a great comment as well. Obviously, it's fact that it's a great comment because it was top rated by you guys, not by me. We talked about Mario Party. We're not doing that. Real quickly, Square Enix says they have an interest in releasing Dragon Quest X outside of Japan.
I have no idea.
It's great. I know, right? I talked to him, and he was like, I don't know if I think it was in relation to this image. He's like, I don't know if I have time to color this image, but yeah, I'm drawing that thing. It was great. A great discussion from last week. Oh, here's the panic button story. So now I will give you your first comment. As I said, I would. This is, again, the major Switch port that will be announced supposedly next month. And this is not rumored. Like, we hear they're doing a game. This comes from Panic Button themselves. Steel Diver says, my inside source told me it's Netflix. It's great. Panic Button using their expertise to bring Netflix to Switch. Our final top story, because we're out of time, and I think because it is the final top story, and I'm really excited about this one. Some of the developers on Nier Automata, or Automata, however you want to say it, I have talked about the potential for a port of the game to Switch. So the game went to PS4, and now it just recently came to Xbox, or is going to soon be available on Xbox One. And in a developer interview, we have director Yoko Taro, producer Yosuke Saito, and designer Takahisi Tora talking about the idea of bringing the game to Switch. Taro asks, when are we bringing the game to Switch? Saito says, well, it's not all on me to decide because Platinum Games do the painstaking time, or Platinum Games do take painstaking time to develop for each console because Platinum Games was the developer on this game. Tora says, well,
did it sell well?
Oh, no, it did well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Platinum Games sold
over
well?
1 million.
Wow.
Only on PS4. Game's fantastic. It's really good. One of the best. It's a great game. Like, I love the game, just gameplay in general, and the boss designs and the whole look and feel of the game. Very cool. One of the best game soundtracks I've ever heard in my entire life. It's amazing. Fully orchestral, really good music.
That's all
Perfect kind of music that gets you hyped for the music perfectly fits each situation. There's a song where you're fighting like an opera singing robot.
Of course.
The song that plays during that fight is phenomenal. It makes you feel like such a badass when you're in that fight. It's so good. It's got like somebody sing. A lot of the songs have people singing in them, which I usually hate, but I like in this game. Even if you're not going to play that game, listen to the soundtrack. Tora says, well, I don't think it's a good idea to ask me about something as big as this. Taro says, I want a Switch version, Tara. Give it to me. And Tora says, well, I'd like one too, if it's about what we want. And Saito says, well, Tora's Twitter account is shown on the screen here. And if everyone asks him for it, then maybe there's a possibility that it would become a reality. But even if it does, it might take about 2 years from now. See, we keep our jobs alive by releasing a little by little. And Tara says, yes, we try to stretch it out as much as possible. Please contact Saito about Switch and not me. So basically all three of them want the game. They're just saying like, oh, don't put it on me. Don't say I'm doing it. You said you want it. So the desire is out there.
Where are they? What company are they from?
All three of these guys?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Square Enix.
Oh.
It is such a good game. I thought from the day, from the moment the Switch was a thing, I thought that this game would be a perfect fit for it.
Why?
Just the type of gameplay and the look of the game is it's a very nice looking game, but it's a very simple game too. It's not like overly sophisticated graphics or anything like that. It's very sharp, clean designs.
Is it fighting kind of like Bayonetta?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
Like very hectic?
Not as hectic, no. It gets hectic, but no, not as crazy as that. But there's like boss battles that are like you're like this big, and there's like a huge robot that you have to like run up the arms of, and like a mech gets called in and you jump inside of it and you fly around and fight the thing. It's very cool. It's very cool. All kinds of upgrades for your character. There's like 9 different endings. There's a whole bunch of different things.
Oh, I love that.
Top rated comment comes from Steel Diving. He says, "Well, I'm happy for all 5 Xbox players who wanted this game, but there's probably a bigger audience on Switch for it. Of course, the Xbox port requires less legwork. That is true. I don't know. I think there will be a healthy audience for it on Xbox. I hope it does well over there. Hi, Mycrotic. Yo. Basically, if you haven't played it, play it if you have the means to do so. I don't. Is it out on PC? I got no idea. If you have a PS4 and you haven't played it, play the damn game. If you have an Xbox, play it when it comes out on Xbox, whenever that is. I think it's soon. And if you have only a Switch, tweet Saito and let them know you want the game, because I think it is a very nice fit for the Switch. And it is a game that I'm very surprised sold over 1 million, because it does not seem like the type of game that would. Plus, Platinum's tied to it. So, I mean, when has Platinum made a bad game? Let's put it that way. Have there really been a bad, like, terrible Platinum game? I'd say no. Some not as good as others, but they're known for high-quality work.
I was going to say God Hand, but that was still Clover, right?
Don't you dare badmouth God Hand. Yeah, that was Clover, but I like God Hand.
I just remember I never played it, but I just remember it got pretty bad reviews.
Crapped all over that game, and to this day, I don't understand it. I don't get it. All right, we're really late already.
They just weren't fans of punching people repeatedly in the nuts,
I guess. Does anyone have anything they played that they really desperately want to talk about?
I played old Xbox 360 games this week. So.
I played
well, I want to hear on the after show.
I played Yoshi's Woolly World with the stranger.
Oh.
And when I told her, like, I downloaded Unravel 2.
Yes.
Which isn't spelled with a number 2. It's TWO, which means something there. Come on.
It
keep writing the
2. Yes.
No, but it's about 2 Ravelies or Yarnies. But,
2 raviolis?
Yeah, I thought you meant raviolis.
2 raviolis.
This guy orders the 2 raviolis over here.
But when she saw that I downloaded that, it made me go. She made me go, or the game kind of made me go get a second PlayStation controller. So we played that together. That game is really difficult to play with 2 people. It really makes it hard. Like it's not an easy,
because of who you were playing with,
possibly, but it's not an easy game to cooperate with or whatever. Like, it's kind of like the Mario, the Mario game with like the multiplayer, whatever Super Mario Brothers game that was with the multiplayer.
Oh, the
where
one
like you can throw people off the screen. Yeah.
New Super Mario Brothers? Any one of those?
Is that what it was?
There's like 4 of them.
The first one, like I remember playing with all you guys, and we're all playing, and like you can grab somebody else and like throw them down a hole or whatever.
New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
on the
New
Wii.
Super Mario Brothers Wii or Wii U or whatever.
Yeah, Wii it would be, yes, because the original was on DS.
So it's kind of like that. Like you affect the other person because you're tethered together. So if you go to jump here and they go to jump a different direction, or they over jump something, they'll throw you off and you can't continue. And then the mini challenges in it, I did them by myself, and it took me a while to do it solo. To do those together, it's kind of crazy. It's crazy. It's
Omar says, I'm looking for a couch co-op game for my girlfriend. Is Unravel fun?
It's definitely fun. I mean, it's more of a moody game. Like I enjoy walking around in the music and like the location.
That first game, I was like, it wants me to feel something, and I do feel something, but I don't feel it to the level it wants me to. And then I got to the end, and I was like, I feel it. I feel it.
I think that's kind of the same thing here. It's very moody.
I'm sorry, Ravioli.
If you want a great multiplayer game, yeah, Chariot. Right for PS
Super Chariot
for PS4.
He didn't say he only has PS4. He's just specific.
Chariot or Super Chariot is a wonderful multiplayer game.
I would also say Overcooked is great for couch co-op. My cousin has been playing it with his girlfriend, and they were super addicted to it. Beat the whole game, did every level. did all the extra stuff, so I recommend that.
So it's a short.
Oh, he said we had fun playing Overcooked and
Oh,
Snipperclips,
Overcooked.
and we have PS4, so he's got a Switch and a PS4.
Oh, Switch, you can get Super Chariot. I'd say choose Super Chariot.
Chariot is all. I would not play Chariot alone. I would definitely play it co-op, and yes, it's.
I mean, if you want
I didn't
something
know
to
you
break
could
up
do that.
over, maybe Unravel 2.
Yeah, I haven't played Unravel 2, so you got to listen to Nikki Hill.
No,
but
Unravel
we
2
both
is- I
played
mean,
Chariot and Super
I
Chariot.
didn't really get into it too much, but
I say Chariot and Super Chariot are the best co-op games I've
I
ever
feel like
played.
Unravel had a lot more to it getting through the levels than Unravel 2, though. But
Levels in
Unravel
the
2
first
has,
one were long.
has some, yeah, but Unravel 2 has some interesting challenges.
There's story in this thing?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow it, but I'm also distracted with the multiplayer. aspect.
Omar says, okay, I'll get Super Chariot next.
And
That's
also-
a good one, too. My Chronic says N++. That's a great co-op game.
That's a crazy co-op game. Crazy Town.
The only thing I played this week, because it was E3, so I didn't play a lot, but what I did, literally the only game I played was Fortnite. Now that Fortnite's on the Switch, that's my main platform. Platinum for platform.
Survivor. That's you. Speaking of which,
I don't want to brag, but I'm going to brag.
well, that's pretty awesome.
I got 6 first place finishes.
You know
so
why?
far.
Oh wow.
Like you said, the people on the Switch are like new to it, and they just are.
No, that's what
suck.
you said.
That's what I said.
Yes, there's other platforms playing. We're starting a thing now on Twitter. We're going to make this a weekly thing. Because on Switch you can take a screenshot or you can take a 30-second, I think it's a 30-second video. I don't know how long. Doesn't matter. If you're playing Fortnite on Switch and you have a really great moment, like a win or something silly or dumb or weird, record the clip and tweet it to us, because each week I'm going to do a wrap-up post of the stupidest things or the greatest thing, whatever. The best Fortnite moments
Yeah,
of the
okay.
week. Huh?
You're gonna have a lot of stuff to look through.
I hope so. I got some last night already, so I'm excited. But yeah, I
Flood his Twitter, guys.
send him
and
to just
girls,
tag
and men and women.
GoNintendo tweet. That's my
Kids.
Twitter account, and you can send it right from your Switch. Just include my Twitter account, and I'll sift through the stuff. And each week we'll do a post of I don't know, depends on how many I get, obviously, but the 3 to 5 best videos of the week. I already had, like I
fail
said,
block.
a few submissions
Or a
last
fail
night
army?
of some pretty good stuff too. There was one hell of a hunting rifle shot. It was a ridiculously good shot. Somebody was flying through the air, and this guy nailed him. And he was like, "I didn't expect to do this at all." And he killed the guy in the air. So you see him in the video take the shot. He nails it, and the guy just stops and is standing still because he's like, "Oh my god, I got to record this." It was a really, really good shot. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put those out every week, probably a Friday or maybe a weekend thing makes more sense. But tweet me those videos. Send me your videos. I only want them if you're on Switch. I mean, I won't really know. If it's on another system, you send it to me anyway. But I can look at the buttons. Let's put it this way. If it's Fortnite, because it's on the Switch, you can send it to me. I'm not going to be like, this isn't on the Switch version. You can't show it to me. So there you go. No time for questions. We're already late. No music because Mom Brain's not here. E3's over. We did it, everybody.
Yay, we survived.
We're going to end this
Oops.
with a nice message that Twisted N has told his fellow chat room user, Blue Husky. He says, Blue Husky, lick my scrotum. Goodbye, everybody. It's right there. It says, Twisted N says, lick my scrotum, Blue Husky. You want to play Fortnite? You should have added that part in. Your brother last night got second place. He put in a lot of time with it, and he started to piece things together, and he got second place, and he got 2 kills in that game.
Nice.
He got he made me save one of the kills too. He's like, "Oh, you got to record it." I don't know. The guy that he killed, I have no idea what that guy was doing, because Reed starts shooting him, and the guy just stops moving and stands still, and it's looking at him, I guess, to line up a shot or something.
Oh, maybe.
But it didn't end well for him. Oh,
because
it's
he
really
died.
funny. Your brother was really into it. He came over earlier before you got here yesterday, and I was playing, and I was like, I had a game where I got 7 kills and I got first place, and I was like, man, no other game gets my heart pumping like Fortnite. And he reached over and felt my chest, and it's like, and he's like, oh my God, you take this really seriously. And I'm like, no, it's just really intense. Then he started playing, and he was like, oh, I feel it now. He got to that game where he was getting down to the wire, and he's like, oh, I can't catch my breath. It gets intense. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What do I think of Death Stranding? I want it. I want it bad. I don't care what you do in the game. I don't know what you do in the game, but I want it. I love things that are weird. I love that somebody, who was it? Tommy Rafinez, the guy who does Super Meat Boy and is working on Super Meat Boy forever. He's like, he was talking about how game developers need to have the will and the passion to go out there and really do what they want and not be afraid of it not making sense to people. He's like, we need more developers who are committed to an idea, and they're like, listen, I'm not going to tell you what everything is. I'm not going to explain all of this. I'm going to show you my vision of something, and if you want to come along for the ride, great. If not, totally cool. He was saying, like, I really respect Kojima's commitment to telling the stories that he wants to tell and making the games that he wants to make. So he's right. I appreciate that.
Don't be afraid to take risks.
I understand, like, money is all part of it, and that certainly comes into play, but we see it a lot with indie developers. Like, they don't have the budget that the big guys do, but they are more willing to stick their neck out there
because they have creative freedom.
Yeah, do stuff you don't normally see from other companies. Do you see the trailer for Sable?
Yeah.
Look up that game trailer. That's a beautiful trailer.
What's it for?
They said PC and consoles. That's all that they said.
Oh, okay.
I think my top 3 trailers are My Friend Pedro, which I have to show you.
The non-official movie.
Sable.
No, that's a movie.
And,
what about
the Tetris Effect trailer?
What's this game? Old Man's Journey.
Yes, Omar. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that, Omar. Hold on a second. Money in the Bank predictions. Yes. Money in the Bank is tomorrow if you want to come. I forgot.
It says Xbox.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's PC and consoles. That's all they said. They showed it at... They might have showed it...
No, it's like a cartoon.
It's got a really nice look.
What am I looking at? Adult Swim?
Yeah, right? It's like futuristic Journey with a really unique cell shading look.
It reminds me of what's that cartoon? Indiana.
Indiana.
Is it Indiana? Something Indiana?
Oh, China,
Illinois. Yes, I see that. It's got a similar, somewhat similar style. It's got a very similar color palette. Money in the Bank, yes. My predictions. If Big E is going to be the member of the New Day that goes in, I think Big E's going to win. If it's not Big E, I don't know. I'd love to see Finn win, but who do I think is going to win? I honestly don't know. Women's side? Oh, women's side, no question. I want Ember Moon to win. I love Ember Moon. I loved Ember Moon in NXT. I love Ember Moon on Raw. She is not just my favorite women's performer. She's my favorite performer in WWE. I love Ember Moon. She is so committed to the stuff that she does in the ring. She is phenomenal. And then I'm watching stupid Nintendo's Smash Brothers press conference or Smash Brothers tournament, and they're like, "Here comes the celebrities. Here's Zelda Williams. Oh, and here's one we didn't announce beforehand. Here's Ember Moon." And I'm like, "What? No, Ember Moon was there. I could have interviewed Ember Moon." To say, I don't know, I have chubs for you. I have no idea. I just want to say hi to her.
Does she have red eyes?
So help me. Red eyes. I want to. When I have the opportunity to meet someone that I really admire, which I've had a couple times, I always take time out of my interview to tell them how amazed I am by what they did and how important I think it is. So when I met Miyamoto, they're like, "You only have 5 minutes. Don't waste time." And this was other Nintendo people, and my rep who knew me really well.
And I spent 4 minutes crying into his bosom.
My other Nintendo rep who I know really well, I was like, I'm starting off by not asking a question. She's like, yeah, I figured, go do whatever you want. So I told him, like, I'm here. It's like what you were saying. I said, I'm here because of you.
Right.
The games that you made me a fan and created how I make my living. I would not be here without you. So I had to take time to say thank you. And Bill Trinan was there as a translator. So it was me and Miyamoto and Bill, and he told him, and Miyamoto was like, you know, as usual, like, haha.
You look at Bill and you're like, not you, him.
So I talked to Bill talked to me later, and he's like, that was a really nice thing for you to say, especially when we only gave you 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, it might be my only 5 minutes ever, so I had to say it. So yeah, if I met Ember Moon, she blows me away by how she performs in the ring. I think she's got a little bit more spark. She's got a little bit more caution to the wind than other characters, and just the way she moves her body and puts emphasis on certain moves, she really sells the story better in the ring. I really appreciate what she does. I think she's really going to hurt herself soon, like very soon, but she is amazing to watch. I think she's awesome. And I also think her look is great. The craziness side of it, plus she doesn't look like the stereotypical women's wrestler, which I appreciate. I just love her. I love her character. So I would love to see her win at Money in the Bank. I think it's too early for her to win, though. I don't think they're going to let her have Money in the Bank. It'll probably be Sasha. Maybe Natty. Sure, why not? I don't think it'll be Natty. Between the Ronda Rousey and what's her name? Nia Jax match. I don't think they're going to let Ronda win. I don't think they're going to have. That would be funny. That's a great one, Omar. Natalya winning the Money in the Bank to turn on Ronda Rousey and steal the belt from her. That's great. Okay, I can see that happening now that you say it. All right, I could talk about wrestling forever. We're late as it is. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for sticking around for this supersized E3 2018 show. And hey, if you play Fortnite, let's play some Fortnite, because I've been playing a lot of Fortnite and I've had a lot of fun. So if you see me on there, go ahead and feel free to hop in a game. I can't guarantee that I'm going to join in with you because it's not necessarily me playing, and I might be with some friends that I'm actually voice chatting with. But if that's not the instance, I will go on there with you. I think my Epic account is, oh shit, I think it's GoNintendo RMC. I think that's my Epic account name.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, because I can't take my Sony name over to the Switch, so I had to make a new name. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for all your support during E3. By the way, it was phenomenal. We had over 3.5 million impressions on Twitter alone over the course of the 3 days, which is crazy. We have hundreds of new followers. So if you're one of them, thank you for following us. And hopefully you will see reason to follow from here on out. But if you just wanted to follow for E3, thanks for the time you spent with us. All right, that's it. Next week, we're back to regular stuff. We'll see you. Have a great weekend. Play some games. Have some fun. Hang out with friends and family. Relax. Take a nap.
Bye,
You deserve
everybody.
it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.